There comes a time for every narcissist when they realize that they have lost out on that one person, or there is at least that one person that they cannot afford to lose. So when they do, it shatters their world and leaves them longing to regain what or who they lost. Not only was that person a primary source of supply, but they were the ones who captivated the narcissist's dark soul. They are the ones the narcissist realizes sooner than later that they may never find a replacement. Is this really true, or is it just all in the mind of the narcissist? But before I go any further, I would just like to quickly welcome and thank all of you for clicking on this video. Also, I would like to give a shout out to my latest channel member, Kel's Money. Thank you for joining and supporting my channel. And for anyone that is new here, my name is Clarice and I focus on exposing narcissists. And today I will be delving into why the narcissist will never forget you or replace you. Could it be you were indeed their soulmate? That one person fitted to their every want and need? Well, if you know what the criteria is for the narcissist's perfect partner, you wouldn't want to be the one. In this video, I shared the top qualities that a narcissist looks for in that ideal mate or companion. But when the perfect partner realizes their worth and are able to walk away from the toxic hell the narcissist created, or the narcissist was the one foolish enough to discard them, thinking they can do better, things can get interesting because losing out on such a person can make a narcissist do the unthinkable, which is reflect and evaluate their actions. Some narcissists realize the loss straight away. Others go through a few other targets first before they realize that no one else seems to match up. Is it love that the narcissist realizes they have for this person? No, unfortunately, narcissists do not understand what that is. All they know is that you have something that they desperately needed. And the truth is that the narcissist sources for narcissistic supply can vary immensely. But whether you were a primary source or not, every person that the narcissist has ever seduced, love bombed, or tricked into loving them was chosen because you had something that the narcissist desired. It could have been sex, money, connections, knowledge, drugs, food. The list can be endless, but what narcissists need more than anything is our empathy. They need to know that they are liked or loved, whether they deserve it or not. And the intensity of that love can differ from person to person, but the narcissist knows when they have found a keeper. But unfortunately for them, they are not good at keeping the things they need. This is why I say the narcissist is their own worst enemy. They are the ones who end up ruining their relationships and losing the affection and care of people who genuinely loved them. Also, narcissists try their best to experience the beauty of life through the people they are with. So they tend to seek out someone who gives them a brighter, happier perspective on life and try to walk in their shoes. I have said many times that if the narcissist could be you, they would. But the closest they can get is being close to the people who are filled with light, love, and buckets full of empathy. But again, the problem is that narcissists get bored easily, and before long, they want something fresh, new, and exciting. So although you may still have what they need, the narcissist would begin to take you for granted because in their minds, they own you or they expect you will be there when they are ready for you again. What the narcissist doesn't ever bank on is a permanent discard or being fully cut off from a source of supply that they deem essential. So when this happens, they try desperately to escape the reality of the situation through multiple sex partners, drugs, alcohol, or whatever other addictions they may have. Their depression sends them spiraling out of control, and some do end up seeking psychiatric help to get their lives back on track. In all that they do, that person who was so important to them remains at the forefront of their mind. Never can the narcissist forget you. Never can they replace you, as they have convinced themselves that you were the one. But the truth is, no one can satisfy the narcissist. This idea of believing someone could is only a fantasy that they have, because in reality, even when the narcissist gets everything they want or whoever they want, they will still be miserable and unsatisfied. But to conclude, in the mind of the narcissist, they are convinced that there is that one person who is or was the one for them. But at the same time, it doesn't stop them constantly seeking out new targets to manipulate and control. At the end of the day, narcissists need whatever narcissistic supply they can get, and at times will even settle for sources that they themselves find less than favorable. But all this happens when the narcissist allows their abusive nature, selfishness, vanity, and greed to push away the ones that truly care about them. And they will never find anyone who can truly satisfy them. So no matter how happy a narcissist may seem with their latest new supply, it is all an act, and it will not last. And never will they forget those sources of supply whom they have lost. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you for listening this far. Please share your thoughts below. And as always, have a blessed week, everyone.